with that story. Garrett, good morning.
Laura, good morning. President Trump has grown more and more visibly frustrated at the Russian leader over recent weeks, with yesterday's profane dismissal of Putin's handling of their negotiations the clearest sign yet that their relationship and Trump's stance on the war may be changing. And it comes as the president is also stepping up the pressure on U.S. trading partners to strike deals to avoid high tariffs by the end of this month. The latest, and he says final deadline he'll set. Overnight, Russia launching a fierce attack against Ukraine, firing a record number of drones into the country, Ukraine says. Just hours after President Trump flashed frustration at Russian President Vladimir Putin for defying calls to end the war during a cabinet meeting Tuesday.
We get a lot of vote thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
The president, who as a candidate repeatedly said he'd end the war there on day one of his presidency, now says he's reviewing a bipartisan sanctions package against Russia. And asked about the Pentagon's pause of weapons shipments to Ukraine last week.
Did you approve of that pause?
We wanted to put defensive weapons, so we're sending some defensive weapons to Ukraine, and I've approved that.
So who ordered the pause last week?
I don't know. What did you tell me?
NBC News has reported that suspending the weapons shipment was a unilateral step by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, according to congressional sources and a U.S. official. The sources say Hegseth has ordered pauses twice before. In both cases, his actions reversed days later. And President Trump making another foreign policy move overnight, once again ramping up his global trade war, announcing he'll send letters to at least 7 countries today, on top of 14 filed Monday, that set new tariff rates for each nation if they don't negotiate new trade deals with the U.S. this month.
Mostly it's just a little number in there. You'll pay 25%, 35%. We have some at 60, 70.
The president abandoning the 90 deals in 90 days goal set by the White House when his so-called reciprocal tariffs were first unveiled, then paused back in April, in favor of unilaterally deciding import tax rates and posting them in letters.
Because we can't meet with 200 countries. You have to do it in a more general way, but it's a very good way. It's a better way. It's a more powerful way.
And overnight, Moscow shrugging off President Trump's angry comments about Putin. The Kremlin's spokesman telling NBC News, quote, "We are quite calm about this. Trump, in general, has a rather tough style in terms of the phrases he uses." Laura?
Hey, Garrett, well, I also want to ask you about this. President Trump and his attorney general, they're addressing all these questions over this renewed interest in the Jeffrey Epstein case. What are you learning about that?
There's quite a moment yesterday. Trump cut off and then lashed out at a question asked about Epstein yesterday, calling it a waste of time to even still be talking about him. Attorney General Pam Bondi then tried to step in to try to squash these conspiracies about Epstein's death and his alleged client list. Bondi said the missing minute from surveillance video outside Epstein's jail cell